This is the story of Dylan's Roots, written by Deb Graves. Dylan was 5.5 with big blue eyes and golden blonde hair. Picture perfect, as some would say. He was a very busy boy, always running and jumping wherever he went. So full of energy that his mummy didn't know what to do with him. She would ask him to slow down, talk to him and ask that he could find something quiet to do. Dylan would not sit still. There were too many things that caught his attention. He would rush to discover what it was that was shining and sparkling in the sunlight, run to watch the cat outside the window, and jump to catch a fly swooping by. His mummy tried very hard to keep up with him, but after a while she would start to get upset. Her talking voice started to get louder. This would make Dylan even more excited. The louder it got, the more wound up he would get. When he was at school, the teachers would also start to raise their voices. Dylan did not know why everyone was getting so upset. He was just having fun with the wonders that surrounded him. One day, Dylan and his mummy went to visit the doctor. Dylan did not understand why he had to see the doctor, as he did not feel sick. The doctor talked to his mummy and asked Dylan a few questions. Dylan squirmed in his seat as he felt the need to get up and explore the doctor's office. The doctor smiled at Dylan and told his mummy that Dylan had A.D.H.D, whatever that meant, and he would prescribe him some medication that would help him to settle down. The next morning, Dylan's mummy gave him one of the little pills. Yuck! It tasted bad as it stuck in the back of his throat. His mummy gave him a treat to wash away the taste, and then off to school he went. Dylan sat on the floor, staring off into space. He felt funny, as if everyone was going in slow motion. He tried to understand what the teacher was saying, but he felt like he wanted to go to sleep. Each day that week, he would wake up feeling excited until it was time to take the little pill. Everyone looked at him and smiled. They told him how nice it was that he was sitting quietly. But Dylan did not have any interest at all in playing or doing anything except for staring at nothing at all. Soon Dylan's mummy started to realize that this sad little boy was not her Dylan. She decided that she was not going to give him any more of the little pills. Dylan soon started to feel like himself again, happy and exploring his wonderful world. Yes, he was noisy. Yes, he ran everywhere. Yes, he even jumped in the chair. But this was her Dylan. One day, Dylan, Mummy and Daddy went to visit some relatives. It had been a long trip, and Dylan was ready to run and explore. There was so much to see, like a dog, 2 cats, fish, his Uncle Larry and Auntie Deb. Dylan soon found himself quite excited and running everywhere that he could. Dylan's mummy was starting to get upset. She tried to get him to sit and play with the toys that he had brought with him. Dylan was not interested, as he had played with these toys all the way here. Soon Dylan's mummy was angry, and Dylan was sent for a time out. Oh, how hard it was to sit quietly on the stairs with so much to explore. As soon as the timeout was over, Dylan was running and jumping around again. His auntie asked him to come over and sit with her and show her the book that he had brought with him. Dylan jumped into her lap. His auntie softly put her hands on his shoulders, and he felt a strange feeling going through him. Dylan grabbed her hands and pulled them in front of his face. He wanted to see what it was that was coming from them that made him feel so relaxed. He could see nothing, and he let her put her hands back on his shoulders. The strange feeling started again, but it felt good. Dylan sat quietly and showed her the pictures in his book. The next day, Dylan was full of energy again. He busily went running around looking for something to catch his attention. Dylan played cars with his cousins, smashing and crashing them and laughing loudly as they disappeared under the furniture, running and jumping to pick them up and start again. Dylan's mummy was watching and listening, and soon told Dylan to stop as nobody else could hear over the noise. Dylan found himself in another time out, sitting squirming once again on the stairs. It was so hard when he was having so much fun to calm down. He felt like he had ants in his pants and that he needed to shake them out. After Dylan's third time out, his auntie asked him if he would come and sit with her. Dylan remembered the strange but nice feeling that he had felt the night before. Up he hopped into Auntie's lap. Once again he felt himself calming down as she put her hands on his shoulders. His auntie whispered in his ear, "Dylan, do you want to know how you can feel this way all by yourself?" "Oh, yes, please," said Dylan. His auntie began to talk quietly to him. "Put your feet on the floor and close your eyes." Dylan did as she asked and closed his eyes. Auntie spoke softly into Dylan's ear. "Feel your toes and wiggle them around." Wiggle, wiggle went Dylan's toes. "And now imagine tiny roots growing from your toes." Dylan giggled. He liked this game. "Do you feel those little roots?" "Yep," said Dylan. "Now imagine them wiggling down through the floor and all the way down into the earth." Dylan giggled once again. "What do you see as those roots are going down through the earth?" asked Auntie. "Can you see rocks and some insects? And what's in that cave? Is it filled with crystals?" Dylan was amazed that he could indeed see all of these things. It was like a video playing in his imagination. He listened quietly as his auntie continued with the story. "Do you know where those roots are going?" asked Auntie. Dylan shook his head. "No." "Well, they are going all the way to the Crystal City to visit with Mother Earth." Dylan smiled, waiting to hear more. "When we talk to Mother Earth, we are going to ask her to take all of your extra energy and make something very special with it." "What do you think she should make, Dylan?" Dylan quietly said, "I don't know." "Well, let's use our imagination," said Auntie. "She could make a tree and name it Dylan." Dylan giggled. "She could make a flower and name it Dylan." Another giggle. "She could make a caterpillar that crawls around and eats all day." More giggles. "Well, what do you think she could make, Dylan?" asked Auntie. Dylan thought this was fun. He started naming off things that Mother Earth could make with his extra energy. "A bird. She could make a bird, and I could fly into the clouds." "A dolphin, and I could swim in the ocean." "An elephant, and I could be as loud as I wanted." Dylan now sat quietly and let his imagination take him on a wonderful journey. Everyone knew he was having fun, as he would let out a giggle every now and then. When Dylan finally opened his eyes and looked around the room, he was surprised to see that everyone was relaxed and chatting with each other. He had not heard them while he was on his journey. Dylan's mummy smiled at him as he walked over to give her a hug. "That was so much fun, Mummy. Can we do that together?" asked Dylan. "Yes, of course we will, as soon as Auntie tells Mummy the secret." Dylan ran over to Auntie and gave her a big hug. "Can we do that again soon?" asked Dylan. "You can do that all by yourself," said Auntie. "It's called grounding." Dylan laughed. "'Cause my roots went into the ground." "Yes, that's right," said Auntie. What a smart boy you are.